and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Nicola and I make lifestyle videos, and today, or this week, I thought I would film a sort of a what we eat in a week, but more a Gousto review for you, an impartial Gousto review. I buy our Gousto, we are not incentivized to tell you how wonderful it is or not. So yeah, I thought I would give an honest review of what we think of Gousto. We have been getting Gousto, I think, since January this year, so almost a year, and found it invaluable during lockdown, obviously, because it meant we didn't have to spend quite so much on our shopping when we were out at the supermarkets, and things were easier to get. We were guaranteed the 4 meals a week that we get through Gousto, and I know a lot of people who wanted to join up to Gousto to get their food delivered weren't able to once we went into lockdown. So I was very pleased to have already done it and signed up to them earlier. There are good things and bad things, and I will talk you through those as I talk you through the meals that we're going to have this week. So I'm going to show you 4 meals, and the 4 meals that we've chosen for this week. I'll show you what they look like in the picture and then what they look like once I have cooked them. And yeah, so our Gousto box arrived today, and that's Tuesday. So we always get our Gousto on a Tuesday, and we eat it then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And it's just myself and Andrew who eats the Gousto box food. The children don't, because they're not as adventurous. I think probably the best thing about it is the fact that it's delivered and it just arrives at the door, and also that it means we just try different things, and there are loads of recipes to choose from. I think there's like 50 things. We usually get a mix of vegetarian and meat choices. We don't tend to ever get fish because Andrew doesn't really like fish. I would, but he doesn't like it, so we tend not to do that. But yeah, we really have enjoyed it. There are a few downsides, but as I say, I'll talk about those as we go on. So without further ado, I will talk you through what we are having for dinner tonight. So tonight we are starting with this, which is a creamy bacon, red pesto and broccoli whole wheat penne. This was the first time I recognised that you could choose whether you had whole wheat or regular pasta. That's a new thing that you can do now on Gousto. So when the box comes, it comes with your 4 recipes and all the food included. And then you get a recipe card like this, and it tells you which things you need to use this particular recipe, and you get a bag which is numbered, so it's got all the things you need in it, and then you just have to add in the fresh ingredients that you've been sent as well. Occasionally there are little things like a knob of butter or some milk or some flour or some sugar which you might need to add, which are not included in the box. It's usually like a teaspoon or a tablespoon or something like that. So it is worth having things like that just on hand in case you need them, and obviously oil and things like that as well. But otherwise everything else is included. So that's the recipe. And there are the instructions in case you want to do a zoom in and screenshot and print that one off. So here are the things I need for this recipe. It did come with streaky bacon, but we're not big fans of streaky bacon. It can be quite fatty and we're not keen. So I had some ordinary unsmoked back bacon in the fridge, so I'm just going to use this instead. We could just use the streaky bacon, but we prefer this. So I'm going to use that. And then this is the bag that all the dried goods come in. So I'll show you what that looks like inside. So we've got our sun-dried tomato pesto, and I believe this is tomato paste. So that just comes like that. The only other thing that I tend to replace with my own is garlic. You will quite often, if there's garlic in the recipe, you will get a couple of cloves of garlic, and I tend to use the lazy garlic puree if you have to grate it or chop it, because it's easier.
It's night in the city, and I'm on my way back home. Humming on my favorite ditty, swinging like Natalie Cole. But then out of the blue, who strolls down the boulevard but you? Your place is closer than mine. sheets, breaking up in the best of ways, and I'm back again on the street. Ooh, but then out of the blue, a wind starts blowing in ways so new, a world more exciting than mine.
So there is the picture, and there is our meal. Doesn't look too different. So yeah, I'll let you know how it tastes. Dinner is done, and we have 2 empty bowls, so I think we can definitely give that one a thumbs up. Hello, it is Wednesday, it is 6:15, and I am just about to start dinner again tonight. Excuse the bean head and everything, it's been a long day. I slept about 3 hours, 4 hours last night. I am so tired. I've just had a bath because I couldn't get warm, and I feel much better now, but yeah, hair is frizz. I'm going to wash it in the morning and sort it out, so hopefully tomorrow when you see me it'll look wonderful. Anyway, I'm going to cook dinner. I've gone for what I think and hope is going to be the easiest option of the 3 that I have left. So we are going for this, which probably should have had last week. It's the Bonfire Banger Bake and Toffee Apple Gravy. This looks amazing. Love this, love this. Not sure how I feel about this, about the toffee apples, but I'm going to go and give it a go. I'm sure it will be wonderful. So yeah, this is one that we haven't tried before. I didn't say yesterday, we nearly always try and go for things that we haven't had before. So as I said, I think the one thing I like the most about Gousto is the fact that there's such a huge variety, and you don't have to then every week think about, oh, what are we going to eat, what are we going to eat. I just know that 4 meals, we choose them off the menu, and we generally choose things we've not had before. Occasionally, so there are, what do they call them? I can't think, but they like the favourites, everyday favourites I think they're called, and there's about 5 or 6 dishes that are on every single week. So if there's some of those that you like, then you're safe knowing that if there's, you know, only 3 of the others that tickle your fancy, you can always pick one of the everyday favourites. And we do, so quite often there's like a veg pasta and a chicken potato top pie, both which we've had a few times, which we absolutely love. But every week we do our best to try and pick something different, and there's only a few other meals that we've had more than once. So everything obviously is on rotation, but there's regularly new things. Every week there's things on there that we've never seen before, so it's really nice to be able to just choose different things every time. So yeah, we've not had this one before, so Bonfire Banger Bake it is, and I'm going to make that now. It says it should take 35 minutes. Andrew is currently in the gym, he should be out fairly soon, so we're going to have his shower and then we can eat this when he comes out, so I'm going to get cracking. I would say that this is probably looks like it's going to be the simplest recipe I've ever made for Gousto because it's got so few ingredients. We've literally got the sausage, the pastry, an apple, 3 potatoes, spring greens and a beef stock cube. So hopefully it will taste wonderful and look wonderful once I've cooked it.
Some might say that I'm a loner, but I just call it being free. I am my heart's only owner, or at least I used to be. 'Cause now a wildfire is raging deep inside, and my heartstrings are pulling like the tide. And the match that drew a spark was a single stolen kiss. And if that ain't love, I don't know what is. For years I've kept my feelings grounded and gone without, all kept within. By these high walls I've been surrounded, her eyes only paper thin. 'Cause now a wildfire is raging deep inside, and my heartstrings are pulling like the turning of the tide. And the match that drew the spark was a single stolen kiss. And if that ain't love, I don't know what is. If that ain't love, I don't know what is.
And there we go. There's the, what's it called? Bonfire bangers with toffee apple gravy. Another clean plate. 2 clean plates again. That was really, oh, I'm hot. That was really lovely and a lot better than I was expecting. That one, obviously the pastry with the sausage took a lot longer than everything else. So everything else was ready way before the sausages were. So I had to just wait and keep everything warm, and then the gravy dried up. So I had to add a bit of water, but there wasn't really enough gravy in the end, but I would remember that for future reference and do the gravy way later than it said to. But it was really nice, really tasty. We both ate it all. So yeah, I would make that one again. Hello, it is now Thursday and I look a bit better, more put together today. It is actually 20 to 2 in the afternoon and I'm just going to cook our meal now. I'm going to have it now because Phoebe has a couple of dance classes on Zoom later and she's actually sat here now just having her dinner because we've had to collect her from school because there's been a positive case of COVID in her form. So she's now isolating for 2 weeks, which is great. So I am just going to cook our dinner now to get it out of the way and then I'll just have to do Archie's later. So yeah, and we're going to have the other pasta. And we're going to have the other pasta dish now for lunch, which is this one. So you can screenshot that if you want to. It is the Smoky pepper and pasta bake. So this is a vegetarian one and instructions are there should you want them. But yeah, this shouldn't be too difficult. It's a bake, so I presume it goes in the oven. Yes, it does. So I'm going to get cracking and cook that now and get our main meal out of the way.
Been to the top of Mount Everest. I've sailed the 7 seas. I've shared the stage with all the best. Lot of good it did for me. I've walked the wall of China, walked till my feet were sore. Came home to Carolina and found my love next door. Well, what do you know? I didn't have to travel the world. Yeah, what do you know? To find a brown-eyed man for a blue-eyed girl. What do you know? Somehow all that I've been longing for was found right here next door to me. Watched the shore, got Trevor's story Shakespearean. Still I found my love next door. Well, what do you know? Oh, I did.
is our smoky pepper and pasta bake. Smoky pepper and pasta bake, that's right, yes. We're going to have this now. It is currently nearly 2:30, so yeah, this would be our main meal for today, and it looks delicious. Hello, it is Friday. It is actually only 4:30, and I'm just sort of thinking about preparing some of the bits for dinner. We're not having it for a little while yet, but Phoebe's currently doing a ballet class. You might be able to hear, oh no, it's stopped now. If you can hear the plinky plonky music, that's why she's doing an online ballet class upstairs. And yeah, she's then got an acro class in about an hour's time, and then they'll be having dinner after that. And we'll be sort of having dinner. I'll prepare the dinner while they're eating theirs, and then we'll have ours after that. So I thought, well, I'd start and maybe chop up some of the bits of veg and things just to get that out of the way. Today we are having this one, the last one of our box, which is the sticky chili chicken with salt and pepper chips. I'm quite looking forward to this. Andrew not so much, because it comes with chicken thighs, and I think perhaps when we were choosing the recipes we didn't realise this one came with chicken thighs, because he is not a fan of the chicken thigh. They're okay when I get them, but they are quite fatty compared to chicken breast meat, and he's not the biggest fan, but I'm going to try and cut them so that we get rid of any of the extra fat and skin, and hopefully they will be nice. But yeah, we've put this off to tonight because he really didn't want it, but I'm sure it will be delicious. I'm quite looking forward to it. So I've got all my ingredients here and my bits and pieces in there, and I just thought while everyone was busy and out of the kitchen, I would have a little chat about the pros and cons of Gousto. Move it out of the light, there we go. So I've mentioned already that probably the biggest pro for us is the fact that it's delivered to the door. It doesn't stop me having to go out shopping, because I still do, but it's 4 meals that I don't have to think about what we're going to eat other than choose it from the menu that we're sent. I don't have to go out and buy the ingredients. I don't have to think about, you know, if I buy a sauce or something for a recipe, then I've got to make sure I use the rest of that sauce. It just sends you enough for that particular recipe, because quite often if you make unusual things, you know, you need to buy, I don't know, a bottle of rice wine vinegar, and then I'll never use it again. I end up throwing it away, and it's a bit of a waste of money. So yeah, that's definitely a benefit for us. And the fact that we're just eating different things that I wouldn't think of doing, it's just variety. And yeah, I really, really enjoy that. There's a few times that Andrew said, oh, should we give it a miss and we'll go back to normal for a while? And I'm like, no. I love the fact that I don't have to sit down and think about what we can eat and try and think of something new. And also, when you've put in that sort of effort to look up a recipe, find it, you know, get all the stuff for it, prepare it, and then you don't like it, or he doesn't like it, then it's really disheartening. So when somebody else has done all the hard work and all I do is follow it, if we don't like it, it doesn't feel like the end of the world. But if I've done all the preparation and thought of it and everything, that's horrible, and I hate that. So yeah, that's probably the biggest pro for us. Cons, as far as these boxes are concerned, I don't think they're hugely expensive. I don't think it's costs any more than we would normally spend on 4 meals for us. We obviously have to then, we pay more probably because I cook separate meals for the children, but they wouldn't want to eat what we eat. And if we ate what they want to eat, that would be even less interesting. It would minimize our choices so much. So and with this also, they do sometimes when we're eating our meals, they'll come and say, oh, can we try a bit? And that's great, because, you know, they're prepared to try something different. I wouldn't want to cook a meal that they wouldn't like, or that I thought they might not like, because again, that's a lot of effort for them to just go, no, I won't eat it. So yeah, that is, I don't think it costs any more. But on the cons side, I think sometimes the quality of the fruit and vegetables is not the best. I feel like sometimes they get sent end of line veg, like veg that's going out of date, and that's what you get in your box. Not always, but sometimes some of the veg, I mean, it's all edible, don't get me wrong, it's all edible, but it's not as fresh as perhaps it would be if I chose it myself. And that's also why we don't get our shopping delivered, you know, from Tesco. I always go and do it myself, because I always look at the dates, I check the freshness of the fruit and veg before I buy it. So if you want to get your meals and you get them, like we get ours on a Tuesday, and then we have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If we did something else one of those nights and wanted to push one of the meals to Saturday or Sunday, not all the meals you could do that, because the veg would be no good to use. Things like rocket, if you get something with rocket or salad leaves, there really is a day or 2 days maximum you can keep those in the fridge for before you need to use them. I've made the mistake of leaving a meal with rocket in it until the Friday, and it's completely inedible, you can't use it. So that is definitely a downside. You've got to think about when you're using things. So if there's a lot of fresh fruit and veg in your box, then make sure you use the recipes that use those as soon as you get them, really, or as early as possible, and then save the other ones till later on. The meat, however, is always very fresh and always well dated. So it's just the fruit and veg. It's just sometimes I get an aubergine that's really soft, or yeah, the rocket will be all wilted by the time we want to use it. So yeah, just bear in mind those things. There's been a couple of occasions where there's something missing from the box, but literally 2 occasions, I think, in 8-9 months. So I don't think I can really complain about that. And I think that's all. I think you can pay extra for some desserts if you want to. They do the goo desserts, and they'll do some other extras as well that you can add onto your box if you want to. And we have got those a few times, and once we bought them and they didn't come in the box, and it took me a while to get my money back, but I did get it back in the end. So yeah, in all, I would thoroughly recommend Gousto. I haven't tried any other of the boxes. I did do Simply Food once, but those are just like little spice, like powder boxes, and you just add them. You have to buy all the ingredients yourself. So although it was nice to get something a bit different, I still had to do the hard work. So that I didn't really rate that much. But I haven't tried HelloFresh, but we did go onto the website when we were first looking at Gousto just to see, and we found that the variety of recipes for Gousto was better than HelloFresh. I felt that HelloFresh was a little bit limited, but I have heard that maybe they've got slightly more options on there now. So yeah, that's my little review. Not paid for, this is entirely my opinion. I have bought all these boxes myself, and yeah, so it's a completely unbiased opinion, and hopefully that might have been helpful. I know lots of people talk about potentially getting Gousto or HelloFresh and not really sure. There's always really good deals on. I will leave a link below where I think you can get like your first 4 boxes for like, I don't know, half price, or half price for your first box and then like 25% off for your next 3 or something. Anyway, I'll leave a link below for an opportunity for you to get a discount if you decide you want to give Gousto a go, but I would recommend it definitely. So yeah, I'm gonna get on and prepare tonight's dinner.
Wake up, honey, I made you breakfast. Fresh coffee and bagels too. A new day is waiting for us. We got lots of fun stuff to do. Let's go to the zoo and feed the monkeys. I can lend them your baseball cap. Let's make the day a barrel of fun. Growing up is just a trap. Don't it seem like a drag? Like putting all of your joy in a big brown bag. I won't listen to any of that jazz. No, I'll never grow up. I'll never grow up. Growing up is just a big fat trap. I take pride in never working a day. Can't see the use of it anyway. Who can think I'm such a load of crap? Growing up is just a trap. Well, don't it seem like a drag?
And there we have sticky chili chicken with salt and pepper chips. So, going to enjoy that now. It was probably the spiciest meal I think I've ever eaten. My mouth is on fire. I did finish mine. Andrew, not so much. He wasn't a fan. But we were just saying, if I have had researched that meal and found a recipe and gone out and bought all the food and cooked it, the fact that he hadn't eaten it probably would have annoyed me or upset me. But the fact that somebody else did it all the work and all I had to do was cook it, if he didn't like it, well, that's not my fault. So yeah, it wasn't a huge success, that one, but I did enjoy it. It was just really spicy. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video and showing you the 4 meals we have from Gousto this week. As I said before, we would thoroughly recommend Gousto. We really enjoy it, and yeah, even sometimes when there are meals that you don't enjoy, you just know not to order them next time. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe down below if you're not already. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.
Growing up is just a